Good morning, America. I'm so happy to be here, all the way live from ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, Old Fourth Ward. Please check me out.
ATL, Georgia. What they say, Latonia, where they put it on you. Remember
Yeah, I
that?
throwing you when they put it on you.
Bro, that was
Uh,
that from the '90s or somewhere around there. I don't
yeah,
know.
I live close to Boulevard, where Jeezy used to roll in his Ferrari.
Oh, there you go. There it is. Mundell Robinson, how you doing, man?
What's up, y'all? Good morning. How are everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good here. Just getting ready for a busy day. And to that end, we are going to end today's episode a little bit early because I have a recording that I have to take place in. But we're going to give you the best hour that we got this morning, hour and
You
15
just gonna
minutes.
tell our people that you got a recording? You ain't gonna say what's up?
Well, I was going to bring it in a little slowly. Like I wasn't going to just drop it at the beginning, but sure. I mean, why not? I'm interviewing Congressman-elect Jamal Bowman of New York 16th District. I'll be interviewing him. We're going to record it, and then we're going to share it and air it with everyone. So that's what I'll be doing immediately after this. And then it's just a long day, man. It's so long, I actually had to write everything down. I normally don't write anything down, but I had to write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 appointments that we got today alone. But we got it in 7. The number 1 appointment was this episode this morning. Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. The Obama episode is what I called it. I didn't even tell you.
Oh,
I just called it the Obama episode.
hey, we don't see your episodes until we actually start looking at it. So I thought it was gonna be defund the police time part
Part
three,
3.
but no, that's all right. We can wait for it.
I'm
We can
thinking
wait
this
for
is
it.
because I think this is more about Barack Obama than anything else, right? We got 2 different incidents with President Obama. One involves Cori Bush, one of the newest members of the squad. She has a tweet that she responded to him with, and I'm going to share all of that. But first, I want to start with the conversation that is sparking all this. There's 2 different conversations. Barack Obama put his foot in his mouth twice in one day. The first one is him saying, quote, you lose people with snappy slogans like defund the police. All right, who wants to go first?
I will. Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream," and Barack Obama said, "Well, you had a thought trying to achieve REM at a level."
Bro, he really pulling it, man. Bro,
Hey, listen. This guy, for a guy who ran on hope and change, for a guy who ran on, yes, we can,
right.
and for the results that at least Black America and the people in this specific instance, defund the police is something that Black America has organically created from the streets that is not necessarily meant to win democratic elections. Therefore, Barack Obama was never centered in the thought process of Black bodies being killed. So his opinion really doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But it does electorally because he's creating a ethos that is actually not based in any fact, right? Actually not based in any science. And me and you were just talking about this before the show. Defund the police. People who ran away from Medicare for all lost their seats.
Right.
The one person who ran on defunding the police won their seat.
Yep.
So fundamentally, when you run on something, you have an opportunity to define what you're running on, right? When you run for something, you have a 6-month period or however month period of time that you have to actually educate the public about why you believe what you believe, right? So therefore, in Cori Bush's, the woman who ran on defunding the police in Cori Bush's district, she had ample enough time to define what defunding the police meant. Defunding the police and reinvesting that money into the community, right? She had time to do that. Therefore, hit pieces on her within her district didn't work, right? Saying defund the police in St. Louis wasn't a bad thing because she had an opportunity to define herself. Now, when Republicans say to Democrats, you believe in Medicare for all and you run away from it, you're actually just giving them cover to create narratives about Medicare for all instead of defending it and explaining what Medicare for all is. So factually, people who ran away from Medicare for all lost.
Period.
People
Period.
who ran on defunding the police won. That is a fact,
Right.
right?
Right.
So and how come we can pick and choose what slogans we want when we want them, right?
Right. Right.
I have a dream. Very cool. Let's use it, neoliberals, to say black people are.
Only after we kill him, though, right?
Yeah,
Only because
right.
we don't want him to have his dream and be alive and actually be able to carry out the full dream post Vietnam. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Come on now, right now. But I am a man, right?
Right.
What did Jesse say? What was Jesse's thing?
I am
Jesse had one.
somebody.
I am somebody, right? Yes, we can hope and change. But when a policy slogan is created that causes for direct
Right.
action,
Right.
right?
That's
When
it.
it's not fluffy and 6,000 feet,
Right.
and 20,000 feet, then it becomes a problem, and that's what I have a problem with about Barack's statements, man. Like he's just showing out right now for no reason when he can do so much more good than harm.
I keep seeing something from somebody in the chat room, but before I get to that chat room comment, Mundell, what is your initial reaction to Barack Obama and this snappy slogan nonsense?
Who do we lose?
Black men. You saying
No,
who do we lose?
Yeah, he said we lose people when we say snappy comments like that. Who?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Who?
Well, I mean, you're the data guy, brother. Who do you think we lose?
Who? No. I think the better question is who do they think
Who
we
do they
lose?
think we lose? Yeah, right, right.
People that we've never had. The same way they run their
Exactly.
campaigns. White folk, conservative leaning white folk. That's
Exactly.
again goes back to his political ideology and alignment. The dude is raised in a political space that believes, we got to cater to white folk, because if they get nervous, if they're uncomfortable, then we lose elections. When in actuality, who gives a damn?
Okay, let me do this. Let me pull up on the screen a couple of responses from two people. One is from Corey Bush. The other one is from Ayanna Presley. Both of them didn't have any problem taking it to Barack Obama. Hang on one second. Let's pull this up on the screen. And here's Ayanna Presley. She said, the murders of generations of unarmed black folks by police have been horrific. Lives are at stake daily, so I'm out of patience with critiques of the language of activists. Whatever a grieving family says is their truth, and I'll never stop fighting for their justice and healing. That was Ayanna Presley. Now, Corey Bush, this is what she had to say. Corey Bush has gone viral because of this tweet. She said, with all due respect, Mr. President, let's talk about losing people. We lost Michael Brown Jr. We lost Breonna Taylor. We're losing our loved ones to police violence. It's not a slogan. It's a mandate for keeping our people alive. Defund the police. Can I just say, shout out to what's happening in real time. What's happening in real time is a challenging of the guard. I can't say it's a changing of the guard yet, right? Neoliberalism still is doing its thing, but we're having a challenging of the guard by these two these two black women. And there's, plenty of people who are challenging Barack Obama, but I appreciate that they're using their stature as congresswomen to challenge President Obama directly, because President Obama is using his stature as former president to threaten our progress.
This proves what Mondale has been yelling at me, or yelling at, not yelling, I'm just joking, but this proves what Mondale has been saying is actually right. And what Mondale has said multiple times, and I don't know if he's going to bring it up on this show, but what the brother Mondale has said is true, might be true, that folks ain't having it no more, and you can't play politics the same way, right? Now, this is like evidence number one that the most revered black politician in American history, from the masses at least, when he actively gets pushed back, like, nah, bruh, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work like that this time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised that that Obama was getting ratioed on
I
Twitter.
didn't see that. Did he really?
No, no, because he didn't say anything. But what I meant was that article was getting ratioed.
Oh yeah. No, for sure.
That Hill
Definitely.
article was getting ratioed, and it was not just me, and it was not just black women. Even though, thank God for black women that are elected right now that are stepping up and saying things. Even though a lot of brothers said things too, but thank God for those current congresswomen saying for what they said.
Yeah.
But it was white folks also who were just like, I mean, because the most responded tweet to that was, "Yes, we can," right? Like America collectively just remembered. Wait a minute, now you were the one who pushed "Yes, we can," and we got "No, we didn't."
That's hilarious, man. Like I love like Twitter is undefeated, man. You can't come out here because they will definitely diss you any moment. Like Barack Obama made his entire career off of snappy slogans. What he's saying though, like if we break down what he's really saying is that we can't afford to have snappy slogans that actually affect change. Right? We can have all the slogans that you want that makes people feel good, but doesn't actually change anything. And therein lies the entire framing of Barack Obama's presidency.
Bro, Mondale,
I, I mean, Barack Obama's just doing what Barack
Obama does.
Yeah.
Talking at black people about their pain. I said it the other day. Dude went to Morehouse to tell black men to pull their pants up and be better dads when all the data shows that having your pants pulled up don't stop you from getting shot by cops.
Right.
When all the data shows that black men are the best dads in the world, spend more time with their kids, touch their kids earlier, kiss their kids earlier than any other group of men in the world. The problem is he was raised by a white man, so he don't know that. Mm-hmm. He think he's the only Negro hugging and kissing his daughters because he buy into what my white media says about Black America, and his idea of Black America is so trash based on where he's from, how he was raised, and the way he played politics, and it shows every time he opened his damn mouth. So what he don't know, what he thought was this was 2007 when Negroes had hope in him. Negroes got hope still for sure,
but not in him.
Sure. Actually, we got more hope in Joe Biden than we had in him.
Damn.
More black people voted for Joe Biden than Barack Obama. So maybe they're gonna maybe these neoliberal black folk gonna call Joe Biden the third black president since Barack was the second.
They just be handing these titles out.
Just handing it out.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we're honestly looking for the first.
God damn.
And meanwhile, we're honestly looking for the. You know what? Look, man. After Clyburn calls it slogan, first off, Mondale, and he said it at Morehouse. He said, "Pull your pants up at Morehouse, the place where you're probably going to find the most distinguished fathers. They create some of the most distinguished, loving fathers in America, right? Like."
And the kids that are there are sent there by parents who are already telling them to pull their parents up, right? So it is like, of all places, right? First of all, don't say that shit anywhere, period, right? But of all places, Morehouse, I don't know if you have any more respectable institution, than Morehouse.
Right. So here's the thing. This whole slogan earring, this whole comments about Clyburn said we're sloganeering, and yep. Obama says we're throwing out catchy little slogans. And even though they might understand what defund the police means, and they want us to say it different, I said this before. Why are these people policing us when we talk about the police?
Why don't they just go ahead and police the police?
Why don't they just go ahead and police the police? Yeah. Right? Like Obama got enough platform power right now where if he were to say police need to stop killing black people, just say that, right? Something would happen in America. Right? But we can't get a clear and concise statement from him. Right? Like, I mean, you know what? Instead of defund the police, how about we just throw a beer summit? That'll fix all of it.
That will fix everything.
Yeah, we just drink beer with the cops, and then they get drunk and shoot at us some more as soon as we leave the White House. How about that? Right? Because obviously who's centered in this conversation about safety and about policing and about how we talk. I mean, it's just so to me at this point is I can tell who has not been to a single protest, right?
Mm.
And Barack told us to keep protesting in the streets, yet he tells us not to say what we were protesting in the streets publicly. That doesn't really make any sense, bro.
No, it makes
Who
plenty of
cares
sense
about
to him.
man? Why are we ain't surprised. Barack Obama teamed up with Michael Jordan to end the NBA protests.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Well, it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. Non-gender conforming individual. I think that's as good a place as any to throw on the second part of this. There is from, I believe, I'm almost certain that this is from his book. Daniel Jenkins on Twitter posted this image of a clip of a quote from his book discussing Henry Louis Gates being arrested for attempting to enter his own home in July 2009. Now, you will remember, Marcus, you just mentioned the beer summit. This is when Barack Obama brought the beer summit where he brought the police officer and this distinguished professor to the White House to have a beer to talk about it. This is what he really thought about the situation. He said, "My own guess," these are the words of Barack Obama, "my own guess as to what had happened was more particular, more human than the simple black and white morality tale being portrayed.
Jesus.
Having lived in Cambridge, I knew that its police department didn't have a reputation for harboring a whole bunch of Bull Connor types. Meanwhile, Skip, as Gates was known to his friends, was brilliant and loud." One part. W.E.B. Du Bois, one part W.E.B. Du Bois, one part Mars Blackman, and cocky enough that I could easily picture him cussing out a cop to the point where even a relatively restrained officer might feel his testosterone kick in.
He just called Skip a uppity nigger. He literally, read that again. Read his description of Skip.
Yeah.
He called that man an uppity nigger and said it was his fault. He
said,
literally just said that.
Meanwhile, Skip, as Gates was known to his friends, was brilliant and loud. One part W.E.B. Du Bois and one part Mars Blackman, and cocky enough that it could easily picture him cussing out a cop to the point where even a relatively restrained officer might feel his testosterone kick in. Let me say this real quick. If you come to my house and try to keep me out of my house, I have the right to cuss you until the end of all time. I have the right to talk about your mama. I have the right to talk about your children. You in my house. There is no level of what did he say? How did he call it? Cussing him out to the point where even a relatively restrained officer might feel his. Why do I have to do that?
Yeah, well, so I guess.
And cursing people out is not a reason to lose your restraint as a police officer.
That's right.
Period.
It's a First Amendment right. He's a Constitution lawyer. He should know that.
So,
but you got to pull your pants up.
Hold on, real quick question, guys, real quick. Y'all got siblings or your kids, or do they play t-ball? You know what t-ball is?
Before
COVID, yeah. Before COVID, did they play t-ball? Okay. What I just saw in that paragraph was a uncoordinated 5-year-old missing 3 times at the t-ball. And it was set up for him. And what I mean by that is the setup, the ball was on the tee. And
right.
And metaphorically, that is, okay, this is a person, a human being who is being checked for entering their own residence at a house, and a police officer threatened to arrest him or whatever the confrontation happened and put him in handcuffs for trying to enter in his own home.
Right.
If that was a white professor or a Republican or anybody else,
Obama would not have said any of that shit.
Barack wouldn't have said that right there. Right? But if it was a white person, it wouldn't have happened. He just tried to explain to America why it's perfectly fine for black folks to be approached by cops in his mind.
This is why I'm not watching Jay-Z's movie, because I'm going to be screaming the whole time. This is why I didn't buy that book that Marcus had on his shelf the other day when Barack was becoming Michelle. The dude is a letdown, bro. Jay-Z and Barack Obama are letdowns. And let me just that statement in itself, like his description of what Massachusetts cops,
because
normally act like.
Because I lived in Cambridge, and I can tell you it's not the safest place for black people. But go ahead.
Listen, they have a long history of statutory racism, right? Let's be serious. Let's be clear. If people forget what today is, the second, yesterday was the first. Everybody know what happened December the 1st, 1641. Massachusetts became the first state to recognize statutory slavery. Not no southern state or a southern colony. It was Massachusetts. And everybody else followed suit. So there's a long history of supporting not the Bill Connor types, the neoliberals who go to Ivy League. This is why I try to tell people Barack Obama represents exactly what I said when I said their pedagogy is effed up. When I said they pseudo progressives. He fits that mold to a T. They sit in they get these tenure positions, and his tenure position just so happened to be president. And they have these spaces that they don't deserve because their ideas are as conservative as those that will kill us. That man literally, if you break down all of the trickery in his language, he literally just called Skip
an uppity nigga,
an uppity Negro. He literally, and the way he said it was, he put a meanwhile in there, which means there's no racism in this police department. Meanwhile, which means so there has to be another reason this could happen. And what is that reason? Skip has an education, a degree. He's highly educated. He's erudite, and he's cocky. What? Every mother who lost a child to police brutality should be offended by this bastard. That's not a proverbial. That's not proverbially. Barack Obama's a bastard. So I mean it.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. Just, I lived in Dorchester. Right. I lived in Dorchester fairly recently. Right. I was harassed by police officers living in Dorchester myself. Right. I mean, matter of fact, most black men get harassed so much by cops, and realistically, that we tend to forget about times that we get harassed by police.
Period.
Right. Like it's just such a normal thing. But I mean, for him to say that any Boston area police department is not racist is for him to forget the whole busing situation where Boston had a really bad busing situation and the police officers weren't doing a damn thing to protect black students. Y'all better stop. This revisionist history. I gotta ask a different question before you move on, Ben, and that's this right here. How many new neoliberal black people are being born versus everybody else?
That's good.
I'm asking a serious question, right? Like how many more neoliberal people are being created right now to sell us a bunch of bullshit?
Well, they are being. I don't think they're being born, but I do think that they are being created. I think that they're being pulled out of the ranks of this, I don't know, this feeder program, right? They're being pulled out of the ranks of this feeder program, and they're being invested in. They're being pushed to run. It's the Pete Buttigieg, right? You're talking about black neoliberals for sure, but Pete Buttigieg represents that next generation of neoliberals, and they're doing, they're positioning quite a few black folks to be that. But I don't think they're anymore being born because the thing to be is radical, right? It is Generation Z ain't having it.
You can't support modern policing and expect me to respect you.
So the problem is, wait, Marcus, was that a pregnant pause?
Nope.
Yeah. So trying to learn the mannerisms.
Hey, you started with me this morning, man. Don't start with me.
I was trying to learn the mannerisms here. Here, man, I'm a proud progressive. Like, I'm talking about super proud. And here's what we spent so much time thinking about what the Democratic Party did to Bernie 2016, and also if you ask some people 2020 as well. But what we don't talk about is our victory and like what it means to have Bernie running against Joe Biden one-on-one. I mean, that field was 27 people. So we did better than 26 neoliberals in the presidential election, which means it's more of them than us, but they're dying so easily in electoral spaces. Progressives didn't lose at the ballot.
Right.
What the world isn't telling you, what the world won't tell you is in Athens, Georgia, and we elected a black sheriff that was super progressive in November or in election on general election day today. I'm sorry, general election day this month or last month. Sorry. What the world won't tell you is yesterday we elected a woman of color progressive district attorney in Athens in a runoff. Athens, Georgia has a progressive woman of color and black man, sheriff and DA. Both of them ran on ending cash bail. Both of them ran on not processing low level marijuana. Both of them ran on progressive issues about like how we stop putting so many black and brown bodies in cages. Those are forms of defunding the police in Georgia, not Atlanta, in Georgia, that are winning. Those are winning ideas. So I don't care what the establishment said. They have a losing model and idea of life anyway. Cory Booker will never be the face of black people. Barack Obama ruined that for him. Sorry. So you can play neoliberal as a senator, and that's the highest you're going to go, homeboy. And that's pretty high. That's pretty high. But you will never be the voice of black people. Definitely not black men. And they keep trying. They keep trying to feed us Cory. It ain't working. What I'm super excited about what I see from progressive ideas, campaigning, and politics. Not just this election cycle, but for sure this election cycle. We did things this year that they thought, they being the establishment, was impossible. And I ain't just talking about the establishment like in traditional context. I'm even talking about the progressive establishment. We have moved beyond. Even if black people, they try to tell me black people in Georgia don't support defund the police. I was like, yo, if you sit down and have a conversation with people, if they don't say the term, okay. But if what they're articulating is that, it's still that. America didn't recognize capitalism until as an institution until it was named capitalism, but they were already acting as a capitalist society. So I don't care. I don't care if you can say a word or not. If you can't spell bank, but you still got money in the bank, you are bank literate. You are bank literate.
That's right.
That's right. That's what's up.
So I'm super dope where we are with politics, and I want them to keep missing the mark like this because it makes our candidates that much easier to get elected by our people.
That's it. And it actually helps expose the fact that everybody who's skin folk ain't kinfolk, man. Like we say that all the time. And I know that's almost cliche, but the fact of the matter is if you are fighting against in all the things, because there's a couple people in the comment section who are like, oh, I can't believe you guys are attacking Barack Obama.
Oh,
one person said,
Keep us.
Keep using that slogan and see where it gets you. And another person was like, "Oh, you guys don't think Barack Obama is black because he was raised by white folks." I mean, we've gone into great detail about that, about what whiteness really is. And so I mean, I don't know if you guys feel like relitigating that, but I will say this much. Let me tell you something. The moment you begin to allow these politicians to be heroes to you and you can't criticize them, you have given them every tool they need to oppress you. And I don't care who they are. I don't care how black they are. I don't care if they are Jim Crow South 1965 marching black. If you are unable of criticizing or to criticize these people, then they have all the power they need to do whatever they want. And you just have to accept whatever they tell you to do.
The problem is, go ahead, Marcus.
Mondale, I'm gonna keep a little healthy amount of cynicism / skepticism, but I'm gonna apologize to you, bro. I'm gonna apologize to you right here on Clickbaity right now, because I was just thoroughly surprised with the amount of, outside of the insider political power that was shown last night on Twitter, and also just the pushback on Barack Obama. It makes me think that there's going to be no safe space for people who don't do things for us.
They coming for you.
Yeah, like, so you've changed my mind on one thing. I'm still going to be a little bit skeptical just because of the administration and Biden's picks. Right? Like, right. It does look like Barack Obama's third term. It does look like that. But on the same token, the political power outside of the White House and Congress and this outside of the insider game, it is growing, because honestly, I've never seen pushback like that from the Lord and Savior of the neoliberal agenda, Barack Obama. I've never seen that before until last night.
Well,
Uh,
let me give you a little bit more reason to push back on this clown. He has officially moved into the clown category for me. Here's the second paragraph. I don't know why I'm just irritating you guys today, but it's you got to see what this dude said. He said 6 days later, Joe Biden and I sat down with Sergeant Crowley and Skip Gates at the White House for what came to be known as the Beer Summit. It was a low-key, friendly, and slightly stilted affair. As I expected based on our phone conversation, Crowley came across as thoughtful, as a
Oh God.
thoughtful, decent man, while Skip was on his best behavior.
what?
For an hour
Whoa.
or so, the four of us talked about our upbringings, our work, and ways to improve trust and communication between police officers and the African American community. When our time was up, both Crowley and Gates expressed appreciation for the tours my staff had given their families, though I joked that next time they could probably find easier ways to score an invitation. Isn't that cute? Back up to the main part where he said, Skip was on his best behavior. Barack Obama get kissed by my authentic black ass.
Yes, boss. I's bees on my best behavior Tuesday. I's make sure not to make you look funny in front of these white folks.
This man said you was on your best behavior. This distinguished professor who was in his own home was on his best behavior. See, I'm going to tell you something. I'm tired of being on my best behavior. Barack Obama was a best behavior type of Negro. That's not the type of person that's going to get something actually changed in this country. So if you need us to be on our best behavior, that means you need us to be civil enough to not change this country. That's what he's saying. Skip Gates did not come with the fire that is necessary to change this country. So every time you see a white person or Barack Obama telling us to be on our best behavior, it is literally saying that you are not bringing the authenticity of your righteous indignation to this fight. And if you don't bring it, then nothing will change. So be on your best behavior because we don't actually want anything to change.
We gotta act like lawn jockeys around cops.
We got to act like lawn jockeys around the president, the former black president. Shit. This dude said Skip was on his best goddamn behavior. You know what? I'm so glad I didn't get a chance to interview Barack Obama before this book came out. Because I just don't think I could stomach having a nice, friendly, cozy, black excellence interview with this dude, knowing that he was getting ready to drop this foolishness and everything else that he did. Flint, Michigan, the water in Flint. The sitting down there drinking water that's infected with lead, and he's acting like it's okay. Man, black folks need to realize who Barack Obama is and who he ain't.
These guys took the opportunity to invite thoughtful folk who spent their entire career either being affected by the criminal justice system or trying to correct it. Instead of inviting those type of people to the White House, they wanted to bring Budweiser and some white cop who had just acted out profiling, and a black guy who was okay with it as long as he got a PBS special out of it, and was on his best behavior because he got to go with his good friend, the president, to sit down. The missed opportunity, and Obama's bragging about this in a book this many years later, shows how callous he is and unforgiving and unthoughtful. People forget that articulate does not mean you give a damn. Or book smart don't mean that you give a damn. Barack Obama had that was a perfect opportunity to deal with police brutality, and we can't pretend that they didn't know what was going on, because his Justice Department issued how many dissent decrees on police departments all around this country? How many black men were killed on his watch? They literally could have been a perfect moment to say we need to address racial profiling. We need to have a conversation about racial profiling in this country. We need to have a conversation with thoughtful folk on how we correct the over-policing of black bodies. But instead, he wants to have a beer with one person. This is because Barack Obama does not believe that there's institutional racism in the police department. Him in 2008, him writing his book in 2020 or 2019 saying, well, I don't think Cambridge police has Bull Connors. Yeah. Well, ask Mike Wilburn where's the only place he's been called the N-word, and he said that this year. Ask any other people who have complained about how racist Boston is this year. Barack Obama don't believe in institutional racism. His actions show that he's okay with where America is, the status quo. He genuinely believes that America is great. He should put on a Barack. He should take off the make and just wear America is great hat, because he's a watered down version of what we got right now, in that he's thoughtful and understand politics, whereas Donald Trump's just an ignorant idiot. Ben talked about the people in our chat asking about whiteness. This is a definition. I mean, for me, and I think the rest of the guys on the show subscribe to this idea too. When we talk about whiteness, we're not talking about just white people. Color. We're talking about the idea of white supremacy. The idea that whiteness to us is the idea that white people are superior because of their skin color, and that unfortunately plays out not just by Barack Obama or in white people. It also plays out in black people like Barack Obama sometimes, i.e. those comments, i.e. that the one that got checked on Twitter last night so eloquently. I will say this dude is dumb, bro. Who died? December the 1st is a hard day for me in general, right? Like yesterday was a hard day coupled with the day, simply because this was a nasty day and time to be a black person in America throughout history. Right?
Baldwin died. So it depends, like, right? So I always say Baldwin had two deaths because he was in France when he died. It was the second, but in America it was the first, right? So Baldwin died, like Marcus said, on the second in France, but it was the first in America. So I call it Baldwin's two deaths. So today and yesterday, but also in history, bro. One day on December the 2nd, 140 some black people were lynched. In one day in this damn country, bro. So, just dealing with this right now and him being checked on Twitter, it's just like I'm trying to tell people it's so amazing to me how this young generation like see radical, what they consider radical, and how they don't give a damn about what's in between them and the ancestor, meaning the generations in between them and those who died to be free don't seem like they're gonna stop or hinder what they got going on. And I absolutely love that they closed that gap between the pain of our ancestors and what they're trying to do. And Cori Bush is an epitome of that. I didn't rock with this sister after I tried to help her, because I tried to help her and she was just that's a whole nother conversation. Marquita Bradshaw is also the epitome of, I don't care what y'all got going on there as an establishment. This is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm gonna show up. This is why I'm here. And I think that is the wave of the future. And we know that those black candidates didn't lose elections. Not in the South, not in the North, not in the West. Those black candidates didn't lose anywhere. You know who did lose? The Barack Obama type candidates.
Exactly.
Nobody's capping for Barack. The only people call Barack Obama to speak for them
are
white folk.
Yeah, white. Yeah, right.
White folk. And truth be told, your boy wouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. He wasn't gonna endorse Jamal Bowman. He didn't endorse against Elliot Engel. He endorsed against the Republican. He didn't get in early. He did the same thing that CBC did. Barack Obama is a lighter version of that country Clyburn.
Exactly. They serve a very specific part of this country. Let's just I just want to keep it real, because there's people that I can't believe you guys talk about Barack Obama. No, listen. Barack Obama, James Clyburn, they serve a very specific type of America. And that type of America is detrimental to the overwhelming majority of black people. So forgive me if I have to take a step back and say, okay, man, listen, like your blackness is problematic. You don't get a pass and get this. We got to stop this. Oh, they're black, so we can't criticize them. Now, white folks, you probably should just stay out of the conversation because it ain't going to go well for you. But black folks, we have every right to criticize Barack Obama when he is directly putting our lives at risk. He is underscoring the entire framework of racial profiling and saying that Skip Gates, a distinguished professor from Harvard, was a good boy on his good behavior. Y'all kiss my black authentic ass.
Let me jump in here because I do feel. You remember when Barack Obama said Trayvon Martin could be his son?
10 days after people put pressure on him too. Yep.
Yeah, he would have been a deadbeat dad by these comments.
God damn.
He's not showing, because if you're a father, you try to protect your children. You try to show up for your children. You try to make sure that your children are not harmed. So I'm gathering that if Barack Obama, what he said was, that was a black child and he could have been my child.
Right.
That means that my cousin Jonathan Farrell could have been his child. And that means Ahmaud Arbery could have been his child. That means, and he's not protecting them. Right? Protecting them means by all out force understanding what the pain of what a father feels. Right? And the pain that a father feels doesn't say let's not say this, let's not say what's on our mind, because if you're hurting, you know, as a family member of somebody who was shot and killed by the police officer, since that could have been your child, Barack, then you would be in pain right now.
Right.
And you would be explaining what defund the police means.
Right.
Right. You wouldn't just say, let's not catch catchy slogans. Right. So in my viewpoint, you know, Barack, you would have been a deadbeat dad to Trayvon Martin. And you're being a deadbeat dad to Trayvon Martin right now.
Beyond deadbeat dad, you know, I think because people, he might not have been, because people treat their kids differently, right?
Then they treat other kids.
Than the other kids, right? So what he's not doing is he's not been a deadbeat dad to his daughters. He loved them, right?
Right.
But what he is been a deadbeat black president. He is showing up like a deadbeat black president. He is dropping the ball. If he can pull up a jumper and hit a three on the fly with a suit on, in basketball terms, he couldn't hit a layup in black terms. The boy is bad if blackness was basketball, the boy wouldn't be on the bench. He wouldn't be in the gym. The boy couldn't carry a towel. He's learned nothing about the struggling of black folk, or what Barack Obama don't see is institutional racism as a problem for black folk.
Because he didn't grow up with that perspective. He didn't grow up like. So if we go full circle to your definition, Mondale, of whiteness, right? Let's just be real. It is totally possible to have black skin and grow up in a system of white supremacy and have to unlearn white supremacy, because literally every black person in this country is born with black skin and has to unlearn white supremacy at some level. Now, you couple that with growing up completely outside of the black radical tradition, right? Completely outside of the perspective of blackness that comes from blackness. Barack Obama didn't learn blackness from black folks. So I'm sorry. It's evident. Y'all not gonna make me. I'm not apologizing for this shit ever again. It is evident. It is evident by the fact that he wrote this Bama ass shit in his book. It is evident by the fact that he went to Flint and drank water, mocking the people who are getting sick with lead poisoning from their water. It is evident by the fact that he is out here attacking defund the police when he should be just focusing on making sure that his successor, Donald Trump, leaves office. They are putting more energy into stopping the progressive movement from moving forward on defunding the police than they are getting rid of Donald Trump.
Ben, I gotta say something, bro. Is stopping a fascist government department from killing a certain group of people progressive?
I mean, that's the question,
right? Like. I don't understand why neoliberals haven't even jumped on this and let's defund the police and let's do something saves money. It's more Republican than anything else. As I said before, it's a libertarian idea.
Nah, they just get.
Let me read Miss Patterson comment, y'all. She said, "All this moping, period. Obama was never going to be a field Negro president, period. One won't even be let near the plant, period. He was never pretending to be a progressive, period. He was never pretending to be anything other than what he was, period. White liberals push this candidacy, period. Sounds like you. She put 3 different color black emojis, I guess representing all of us. We're looking for a politician hero. With all this crying over a half white man who has been born into office 4 years, who's been out of office for 4 years, period. The reason I said period at every sentence is I think she wrote so many short sentences to, in English, short sentences are meant to bite or like hit hard. Short sentences have different effects than long sentences. So I'm assuming she wrote that many sentences to have that type of effect on us. Like I'm making a point in every sentence. Well, good, because we're not moping over his presidency. We're talking about comments he made last night. Period. Period.
Period.
And also, we're not moping. Period. We're actually stating facts about black life and what we expect. We didn't expect Obama to be a progressive. We've already said that. We divorced Obama while he was in office, not like
while he was in office. God damn it.
Wait till he start offending people on the South Side by putting a library that's going to displace poor black folk on South Side Chicago. Period. What we do know though, Ms. Patterson, is that Barack Obama is not a half white man. America doesn't name you half white if you got black skin. You are a Negro man. Period. And your analogy of field Negro, I think you discount the importance of the folk who worked in the house that leaked information to folk that were trying to escape, and those folk who knew. So what you're trying to do is using an analogy that I don't think you fully grasp yet. I think it sounds good when you're trying to talk into the context of Malcolm X about the field Negro and the house Negro.
Right.
But that's too simple, sis. You discount all the folk who were helping the folk on the outside, the folk who stole extra meat to feed some folk on the outside, the folk who told them when the master was going to sleep or when he was leaving town, so plan your escape then. What you're trying to do is minimize what we're talking about and the importance of having a black lens. You don't need to, you literally put your comment at the wrong time. Marcus literally just told you what we're talking about is not progressive. We are progressive, absolutely. But asking for life and to stop funding what is killing black people illegitimately is not a progressive idea. It's
I didn't even see that comment. Where was that comment anyway?
On Facebook.
Oh, Facebook hit that.
Thanks, though, sis. Thanks for watching.
And I mean, it's funny. It's funny. I really, really, really want to talk about Trump and him trying to pay for pardons and stuff, but I don't feel like getting off this one right now.
I don't either. I don't.
So instead, Marcus, you was expecting defund the police episode 3.
I was.
This is Get Obama Part 2.
Yeah.
That's right.
which can be a synonym or synonymous with defund the police Part 3.
It is synonymous considering what we're having to talk about, bro. I just can't listen. I can't, and I don't know. I feel like if you're not black, you need to you need to. If you're going to weigh in this conversation, you need to identify yourself. I'm sorry. If you go weigh and you're in the chat room and you weighing in this conversation, you need to put up a picture of your blackness because one, I need it. There are conversations that are germane to the black community, and this is a very precarious conversation because it does have overlapping themes and tones of blackness, but not blackness in terms of skin color, because everybody knows if you got one drop of blackness in your blood, it is America's rule. You're black, right? We didn't make the rules. Yeah, come on, man. We know that. It has nothing to do. Are you going to sit here in the audience and tell me that you really look at Clarence Thomas and believe that his blackness is the same just because his skin color is black? That means you're the racist, to be quite honest with you. Right. That means you're robbing all these step and fetch it people of their opportunity, of their autonomy to be the coonery, buffoonery type Negroes that they are. Clarence Thomas, Candace Owens, rest in peace, Herman Cain, 999. Right. They represent whiteness. I'm sorry. They represent whiteness, man. They don't represent blackness. Blackness in this country as a cultural phenomenon has been a radical, revolutionary, progressive phenomenon that has changed this country by the sheer virtue of what was done to us because of our blackness. If you cannot distinguish between skin color and cultural blackness, then you probably don't need to be in this chat room. You should probably go watch Peppa Pig.
You should go follow Peppa Pig or go look at Delonte on Twitter, because that's your homeboy. We ain't those type of Negroes. Like, the lie is, here's what neoliberals are doing. Neoliberals are like, this is the comparison they're making, y'all. Let me sneeze real quick. Oh, I don't have to. Or do I?
Don't you hate that? I hate that.
Yeah, think about it. Think about it.
Right? It's like, so, all right, so this is what
sneeze.
neoliberals are doing right now. Listen to me. Check this out. Delonte made the argument for them perfectly. Well, yes, we can. Won 2 elections, and defund the police, lost Congress seats.
Wait, Delonte, is Delonte that K-Hive dude?
Hey,
ridiculous, ain't it?
That's a lot.
The problem is, here's the problem with that argument. Not one candidate running on defund the police lost an election. You know who did? Candidates running from defund the police. Mm-hmm. So James Clyburn and his crew they've narrowed it down to, yes, we can, won 2 elections, and defund the police won none. You're lying.
That's a lie.
Defund the police won in Missouri, New York, New Jersey. Defund the police won in Georgia twice. And that's just 2 of the races. We got progressives. Man, we got rid of that white woman in Brunswick. The DA that wouldn't prosecute the guys who killed Ahmaud Arbery is gone. Unelected. Unelected. So what y'all talking about sounds good on Twitter, homeboy, but in real world, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. For those of us who are not considering or focusing on what the headlines are saying, or these quick little sloganeering that y'all talking about, yes, we can, winning, it's BS. For those of us who are concerned with the lives and the lived experience of black folks suffering because of the criminal justice system, we are seeing victories all over the map. Facts.
Can I point out one last thing about Brother Barack that's very potent that I don't think we brought up?
Them ugly ass shoes he be wearing? Oh, sorry.
God damn.
Oh, well, hey, I don't know, man.
Brook Brothers
clean,
suits.
huh?
Them racist ass Brook Brothers suits he be wearing?
Well, yeah, that's true, but Barack do be clean, man. I ain't gonna take nothing away from him.
Now he does, because he got that neoliberal. He got that I'm done with presidency cash.
Yeah.
He got that Netflix money.
Nah, it's more than I'm done with presidency cash. It means I managed to be black and not do anything for black people money
cash.
That he got afterwards. Yeah.
So I was working in Chicago on a mayor's race in 2015, and I was driving around the South Side, and I was actually going to meet with some people to talk about Laquan McDonald, because everybody kept telling my campaign that I was working for to put out this information because it got to be a cover up. And actually driving to this meeting, I'll never forget hearing on the radio, "Hi, this is President Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm.
I know Rahm Emanuel has a couple of problems and can be rough around the edges, but you still need to support him. So remember, support Rahm. Support Rahm.
Rahm Emanuel's boy.
Check this out. He closed 50 schools in some close to Barack Obama's house at the time.
So Marcus, Marcus, tell them where they closed the schools at, though, for real, because people need to know.
In the black neighborhoods, in the South Side, in the West Side of Chicago, right, where black people 50 schools in black neighborhoods. Even after all that, Barack Obama came down from his presidential perch and endorsed Rahm Emanuel. Now, this means something. This means something to me now. At the time, during this time period, Rahm Emanuel was actively covering up the murder of Laquan McDonald. Exactly. During this time period. If you think Barack Obama didn't have any idea that was going on, you're crazy. So what I'm saying is this right here. We got to take what that brother says with a grain of salt. Because one of his last major endorsements was Rahm Emanuel during a really, really shady time for Rahm Emanuel. Right? So, I just want to point that out, because the track record is kind of sort of there already. Right? And we don't have to go.
I'm sorry, Marcus. I want you to comment on this too. Somebody on YouTube. And you know what? I normally ignore trolls, but I think, and I don't know if they're trolling, but I think that there is a competition right now that doesn't involve trolls. So let me take the troll comment out. There's a competition for the heart and soul of the Democratic Party, and Barack Obama is trying to sell black people off to the neoliberals without anything, without reparations, without even addressing police brutality, let alone defunding the police. I get the God damn what's wrong with y'all. thinking that we got to just jump like, oh, he's a black man. We got to do whatever Barack Obama does. No, we have the right to look at what he stands for and what he doesn't stand for and determine for ourselves whether or not we support him. And I'm telling you right now, he's on that Bama shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And that ain't and by that Bama shit, we're not talking about. Don't get it confused with the state of Alabama and its residents. We're talking about he owned that Bama shit that ain't good for our community. Listen, let's be clear, man. Anybody who is offended by us criticizing Barack Obama, you're not too far off from us questioning those folk who follow Donald Trump blindly. It's cultish at this point. The idea that we can't talk about the things, we're not talking about Barack Obama. I mean, I was just talking about his shoes, but that was a joke. But in actuality, this brother did a lot of harm, and we have every right to criticize Barack Obama as people who are political creatures who are paying attention, and also the fact that we are black folk and we watch black men especially, and we watch what his idea of correcting us or correcting or serving our community was.
Can I add a little bit of nuance?
Yeah.
Here's another thing that's very important. We also recognize that a lot of BS happened to him because he was black.
Right.
Exactly. And I mean, even though that BS happened, like let me just, because I mean, Marcus is 100% right. We watched a high level of disrespect of this president, of that president for sure. Yet and still, Barack Obama's political alignment is flawed for the black community. It does harm. It did harm and does harm for our community. We are saying things now that no one would have ever said under Barack Obama's presidency. No one ever said. He never said. Like I said, this is the president who never apologized for America's initial problem, which was racism and slavery. Barack Obama didn't talk about reparations. Right? So all of you folk up here who are defending Barack Obama, you're doing it at the expense of policies that benefit our community. Barack Obama didn't talk about ending college debt, cash bail, defunding cops. He definitely didn't talk about.
Keep going, Mondale.
Listen, he didn't talk about expunging records associated with marijuana. He didn't talk about decriminalizing marijuana at the federal level.
How about money? Come on, man. He didn't talk about a living wage, right?
Oh, of course not. Barack Obama. Wait. And so here's what he did. He gave federal contractors and federal folk at the federal level a minimum wage, but it wasn't a livable wage. So let's just be honest. We know who are the majority of federal workers. And percentage wise, there's a black folk. So let's be serious. I'm a whole fool for truth. I'm a whole fool for truth. And y'all and y'all feelings about us talking about Barack Obama because you bought that ugly poster with all them different colors on it of his face. I don't care. Dude literally he is he showed up as a president like every other president before him.
And that poster was hard. Fuck what Mondale said right now. That poster was
it was fire.
That poster was hard. You can't even try to trip on that poster.
I mean I had one.
I got a magazine of Obama. I got the Time magazine.
I got a signed copy of his book.
I got the 2008 magazine of Barack Obama, 2009, right after Inauguration Day. I got the newspaper clippings from I am your black person who got the newspaper clippings of Dr. King underneath the bed, right? So we got all kind of respect for him and what he accomplished as a black man. Right? What he fought against in this white supremacist country. Right. But we also have the capacity to say, listen, Barack, all due respect, back the hell up, man. Time is up. Your type of politics is over.
Right.
Can we have this trap squad and we got to go back to this one good time because people keep asking where the squirrels come from. So we'll go back there. Not right now though, but we'll go back there in another episode. But can I ask the trap squad to do something? I need everybody watching who believes what we're saying is at all true to go on your social media and just push back.
Yeah.
Go on your social media today, push back with the things nobody lost running on defund the police. Everybody lost who was running from defund the police. That's something you could say. I want the whole Trap Squad Squirrel Gang to say that right there, right? Push back. Push back on whatever social media that you're on. And I'm going to take this opportunity to say you can follow me on Twitter at Marcus for America, on Instagram at Marcus for America, on Facebook and Facebook at Marcus Farrell and Old Man Politic, on Old Man
Twitch.
Politic on Twitch. And also, lastly, you can check out restorativeroots.net, and you can also check out marcusfarrell.com. It's a splash page, but more information.
It's there. It's there. Mundell, tell everybody how to get up with you and get some. And Marcus, we'll circle back to you. To everybody get some closing last words. We're having to end early today because of an interview that I have to take. But Mundell, it's in your hands.
Y'all better give me credit for my quote. Marcus told y'all to share. Don't throw that light skinned dude on my quote. That's erasure. We don't need that.
What was the quote? What was the quote?
Hey, hold on. I said the same thing earlier in the episode.
Don't give Marcus credit for my quote.
Give me all the credit. Give me all this thing. Matter of fact, say, forget Mondale Robinson. Marcus Farrell loves me.
Damn.
It's hard being a dark skinned guy on the show.
Oh.
No, I'm Mondale Robinson everywhere, and yeah, Black Male Voter Project everywhere. Here's what I would say to you all. Kill the idea of heroes.
Yep.
Join a movement. Find out what you care about, and don't let it be a person. And see how freeing it is to believe that the betterment of folk is more important than personalities. This idea that blue checked individuals are right about everything they say, even if it's not their profession, because Twitter or Facebook or Instagram give you a blue check for entertaining, does not mean you know everything about politics. Because Barack Obama was president, does not imply that he is right about the suffering of black folk, especially when you hear it coming from black folk, especially when we're talking about he has a record that we can criticize now. Mm-hmm. Y'all got to get rid of these ideas of heroes and focus on what's best for our community. We make up the lowest wrong of society. I'm speaking specifically about black men right now. So if you believe that we are not going to sit here and criticize a president who had a beer summit and has the audacity to write about it 12 years later in a context that discounts what police institutional racism is and act as if you're not spraying people with water hose like Bull Connor did,
then it's not racist.
Then you're not racist. That type of idea, that type of thinking kills black people every day. Barack Obama showed when he was a president, he had a capacity and a stomach for the killing of black folk, and would always ask us to be calm. I don't want to be calm about black death, especially at the hands and by agents of the state. So while Barack Obama may take his Twitter account with mashed potatoes with no gravy, potato salad with raisins in it, I want my blackness black as hell. So fry that up for his ass.
I refuse. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, just real quick, man. Stop capping, right? Yeah. I don't care about police departments having fully funded police departments. Stop capping. You don't either. Stop capping. Voters don't either. Stop capping. Stop capping. The only people who care about is white moderates whose neighborhoods are safe. Stop capping for these people. Mm-hmm. These people aren't dying. They aren't getting over policed. They aren't getting killed. They're not. They're just not. Stop capping. They're just not. And it's my neighborhood and it's my people who dying. So guess what? I just don't give a damn what Barack or anybody or Clyburn or anybody got to say about defund the police. I don't. You can tell them I said it. I don't. And guess what? I'm younger than both of them. Lord willing, my ideology will beat theirs.
Mm-hmm. It'll outlast theirs. Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at Benjamin P. Dixon. A couple things before we get out of here, and we apologize. I apologize because it's on me for the short, abbreviated episode this morning. But a couple of things. I think there's two things that are the most difficult things to do in the world. And I honestly, I think it's like literally, I don't even mean this metaphorically or figuratively. I think the hardest thing to do is to see yourself. Is to look in the mirror and actually see yourself and what you are responsible for, what you're complicit with, what kind of, how you are culpable, how you have been wrong. But just shy of that, the only thing that's a little bit easy, or rather what's easier than that, seeing yourself is the hardest. What's more difficult or less difficult than that is seeing the people you love, that you are a fan of, seeing their faults, see how they have done wrong, see how they have been complicit with your dilemma. It's like being married in an abusive relationship and you for the life of you cannot admit that your significant other is beating the shit out of you. Like at some point you have got to swallow the big pill and say that there are people in our lives who we have been fan of who are no good for us. No good for us. And I'm sorry, the representation that we get from Barack Obama is not commensurate with the damage that he did in the last 24 hours with regard to policing and black bodies. I'm sorry. No amount of yes we can, no amount of black galas, and no amount of balls and elegant dinners and the boule and all that. No amount of that makes up for the fact that Barack Obama literally just said that defunding the police was not as important as using his energy as president to fight back against Donald Trump in this attempted coup, but he puts his energy towards defunding the police. And then he literally said that Skip Gates, a distinguished professor, behaved himself at a beer summit with a white guy who seemed to be good and level-headed. I'm sorry. If you can't see the problem with that, then you probably can't see the problems with yourself as well. All right, folks, that's all we got for today. We will be back with the full episode tomorrow. Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care, everybody.